Urgent Birds fans, look what just happened. No one saw this coming, huh? But before we get into it, if you're a true Eagles fan, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. Eagles fans, buckle up, because what I'm about to tell you might be one of the biggest preseason news stories in the NFL so far. The Philadelphia Eagles aren't just sitting around waiting for the season to begin. The franchise is working behind the scenes, planning intensely, re-evaluating scenarios, and exploring opportunities that could redefine the direction of the team, especially on offense. And we're not just talking about contract extensions or minor roster tweaks. The buzz is growing louder around a potential blockbuster move that could take the Eagles' already loaded offense to the next level. Considering trading Goedert for Kyle Pitts, $32 million tight end and former Pro Bowler, the Philadelphia Goedert, Eagles may be on the verge of making a bold move that could shift the dynamic of their offense. And it involves two of the most talked-about tight ends in the NFL. According to recent rumors, the Philadelphia franchise has no plans to pay the $15 million owed to Dallas Goedert for the 2025 season. At 30 years old, Goedert is still highly valued by the organization. He was a key piece in last season's run to the Super Bowl and, even while battling injuries during the regular season, recorded 17 catches for 215 yards and 1 touchdown in just 4 postseason games. One of the most consistent tight ends in the league over the past decade, his potential departure wouldn't be due to a lack of talent, but rather cap strategy and a push for roster renewal. As a result, the Eagles are reportedly considering using Goedert as a central trade piece in a potential deal with the Atlanta Falcons for Kyle Pitts, a former Pro Bowler and one of the league's most hyped young talents. Pitts is still on his rookie contract, valued at $32.9 million overall, and the Falcons have already picked up his 5th-year option, meaning a $10.8 million hit in 2025. That gives the Eagles flexibility without needing to commit long-term, right away. Betting on Kyle Pitts' potential selected 4th overall in the 2021 NFL Draft, Pitts entered the league with once-in-a-generation expectations. At the University of Florida, he racked up 100 catches, 1,492 yards, and 18 touchdowns in just 32 games, won the John Mackey Award, and turned heads with physical testing, including a 4:42 40-yard dash, an almost unheard-of time for someone 6'6", and 250 lbs. Analysts at the time compared his potential impact to legends like Calvin Johnson and Tyreek Hill. And his NFL debut was promising: 68 receptions and 1,026 yards as a rookie, earning a Pro Bowl nod. But that early shine quickly faded. Since then, Pitts has been one of the league's bigger disappointments, averaging just 42 catches, 541 yards, and 3 touchdowns per season. Part of that is due to the Falcons' instability. They haven't reached the playoffs since 2017 and have struggled with offensive consistency. Trade scenario: Goedert plus draft pick for Pitts. Bleacher Report recently listed Pitts among stars who could realistically be traded, noting that he might need a change of scenery to unlock his full potential. With 20 draft picks over the next 2 years, the Eagles have the ammo to make a move. A trade involving Goedert and a 2025 or 2026 third-round pick could be a starting point for negotiations, especially if the Falcons decide to shift their offensive direction. It's also worth noting that Pitts' market could heat up after the 2025 draft. Once teams have more clarity about their needs and how prospects like Tyler Warren, Penn State, and Colston Loveland, Michigan, 2 tight ends projected to go in the first round, perform. Conclusion: high-risk, high-reward trade? For the Eagles, this would be a classic low-risk, high-reward move. Pitts, in a more functional offensive system and with Jalen Hurts distributing the ball, could finally live up to his hype. And with his contract nearing its end, Philly would have room to evaluate before considering a long-term extension. The question remains: will the Eagles bet on Pitts' raw talent and move on from Goedert? The answer could define the future of the team's offense and maybe even their next legitimate shot at a Super Bowl.